How about saving up to 99% of cooling costs while reducing global warming? Sounds good? Let's find out more with the CEO of Submer Technologies, Daniel Pope, and CPO, Pol Valls. Welcome.
Hi. Hello. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to CloudFest. Today we're going to talk about what Submer does and how we want to make a difference in the data center market. First, I'm going to run you through some of the issues that data centers are generating in the market. So not such a fun part of the presentation, but then Paul will take out with the exciting stuff. Since the 60s, data centers have pretty much worked in the same way. Someone discovered that machines generated a lot of heat and that chillers and cooling was required, so traditional air conditioning systems were implemented already 60 years ago, practically. Very inefficient, of course, but the thing is, as of today, we're still using the same technology that was implemented in that time to cool servers. We've seen liquids being used and revolutionizing other markets, even our cars, for example, so to us it just makes sense, right? There have been some innovations, so for example, hot and cold aisle isolation kind of at one point seemed everyone should be doing that. It made sense. It brought some savings to the data center. Not more than 10% on your cooling costs, but at least something. Then free air cooling. Free air cooling was meant to be like the revolution. Easy, no? Makes sense. Just bring air from outside, put it inside the data center. It's proven that it's not that easy. There's a lot of issues with controlling the corrosion and the hardware required to implement free air cooling is very complex and hard to maintain, and very few people are doing it well. So CO2 emissions. As of today, data centers are generating 4% of the CO2 emissions across the world. That's the equivalent to twice what commercial air travel generates. So a massive amount. And 6% of the worldwide electricity consumption is done by the internet and computing. 6% is a number equivalent to the whole electricity consumption of India, with its 1.3 billion citizens. So it's also a very scary figure. Yes, so moving on. These are the installed gigawatts per data center in the data center market across the recent years. That growth is constant, as you can see. It is a very straight line. And it will continue like that for sure in the coming years. There's a lot of trends in the market that are absolutely crashing all the forecasts that have been made. So, give me a second. Got it. New technology trends that are destroying all the forecasts that have been made in data center energy consumption. So, for example, crypto, blockchain, a big disruptor in all the forecasts nobody really thought of. We actually designed our whole product line a couple of years back And at that time, we didn't have crypto so much in mind. Paul will be giving you the details on that. But now we have considered as a serious technology to align with our product. IoT and everything that it represents, so connected car, obviously wearables, etc., and AI machine learning, another very another trend with an exponential growth. We're seeing whole data centers being set up now only to process AI and machine learning. So just to give you an example of what one of these trends can represent to the numbers that we were forecasting for data center energy consumption. This is the Bitcoin energy consumption index, So, and it's only the last year. It's gone all the way from 10 terawatts to 54 terawatts in 12 months. So a single trend, a single, let's say, technology in a trend, because this is only Bitcoin, is having an exponential growth that it's absolutely disrupting the numbers that we expected. The energy consumption of Bitcoin today represents 0.25% of the global energy consumption. If you add to that the other crypto coins and blockchain services in general, you have basically the energy consumption of a country like Spain, just with the blockchain world. Got it. The European Commission has a serious issue, and we're part of the European Data Center Association, so we're quite close to this. And we've actually been given a European grant to accelerate our technology. Has a mission to achieve reductions in CO2. There's two major dates, 2030 and 2050. If you look at the yellow line, that's where we're going to be if there's no substantial changes in policies. Obviously, all the other lines represent where the European Commission wants us to be. So something like industry needs to be reduced by 60% on CO2 emissions. And the European Commission has a very clear view on how to achieve that, and it's mainly through electricity tax, different types of penalties that will be enforced to achieve these objectives. I'm going to hand it over to Paul for the happier side of the presentation.
Let's go for the fun part. Let's leave all these problems apart. So at Submer, we solve all these three problems: energy efficiency, expensive space, and unfair advantages of hyperscalers. We bring the hyperscaler efficiency and much more to any data center. We can deliver 1.03 power usage effectiveness, much more even than Google. How we do that? Well, immersion cooling. What we've done is a highly efficient, eco-friendly immersion cooling solution that saves 50% of the electricity and 75% of this physical space for data centers. Actually, let's look at this chart. What we do is cutting by half the typical data center energy dedicated to, for example, high-performance air conditioners, chillers, etc. We don't need that part. We throw away. And then, by simply removing moving parts for servers, we can save even from 10 to 20% per each server, improving the IT usage effectiveness. Thanks to operating at higher temperatures, we don't need to chill air, like, for example, in 16 to 18 degrees. This way, we don't need this huge amount of wasted energy to lower these temperatures. What we can do is operate the fluid at higher temperatures, like 50 degrees, and be able to deploy these units even in Middle East, Africa, and these hot climates. So as I was discussing before, we can save 75% of this physical space thanks to a higher density and a much higher density. We can dissipate 50 kilowatts per hour single SmartPod. This is our current SmartPod 2.0 version. This is from our showroom in Barcelona, actually. So it looks nice, like a little bit like a frying machine from a fast food company, but it looks nice, it works, and it can be deployed anywhere, even in hot climates, as I said, and you won't need even raised floors. So it's okay. But at the end, we learned a lot with that. We gathered a lot of feedback from different prospects, clients, early adopters, and we thought that it can be improved. So we joined a huge talented team. We are a team of engineers, business people, PhDs, experts in the data center industry, also in managing different kinds of teams and creating products. And we are backed by top institutions, the European Commission, first-class venture capital, the CERN Large Hadron Collider wants to install this down the Large Hadron Collider in Geneva. We also have support from the Spanish government, the European Data Center Association, and more. And we are releasing a new version of the product. With all this feedback, all this information, all these little tweaks that we've been doing these months, we created the Submer SmartPod 3.0. This delivers unprecedented dissipation capacities of 50 kilowatts in a single small box that you can see you can see it in direct in our booth in G28, G29. And the idea is that it can be placed even directly outdoors, and in the future even buried under the floor without expensive buildings. And also, it allows us to save even more physical space, because in the small footprint, we can have this 50 kilowatts. So at the end, what we do is like a dishwasher that you can place it wherever you want, and it just works. And of course, there's one more thing. Actually, Daniel made a little spoiler. The cryptocurrency world is very in hype today. So we created a special version for it, which is the Submer CryptoPod, starting at a lower price, but optimized for cryptocurrency mining. So you can place any kind of miner, GPUs, mining software, hardware, etc. We are ready to produce. So we have a huge assembly line that we are starting to deploy right now. We have our headquarters just near the shipping containers and shipping port from Barcelona, and then a chassis manufacturing plant so that we can scale the production of these units. So actually, you can pre-order right now in submer.com/preorder. And we accept, of course, PayPal, credit cards, and Bitcoin. And we have different tiers of the product from 22 years to 45 years. And then we will start shipping it during end of May and June. The idea is that if you order your units now, you can get a discount on the final price and get ahead on the assembly line. We are located, as I said, in G28 and G29 booth. You can discuss any doubts you may have. And, of course, build next-generation data centers with Submer. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wait a second. I just heard something really amazing. You can actually dip different things in this liquid, in this pot, right?
Yeah.
Just like a mobile phone and stuff.
Yeah, we had Dee put in his phone there a while ago. Yeah.
Really?
So, we accept any type of hardware, so traditional data center servers, crypto mining, hardware of any kind. The liquid that we use is fully compatible with all kinds of IT computing hardware, so yes.
Really
and
cool.
with the Ahmed's iPhone as well.
Okay, so don't miss out. It's still working, right? Okay. Don't miss out visiting their booth. Thank you so much, Daniel and Pol, for Submer Technologies.
Thank you. Thank you.